Hello, boys and girls. So, the next book in our informational writing is going to be about walruses. The title of this book is Awesome Walruses. Okay, so I'm going to open up the book, and here is that table of contents again. Remember, the table of contents gives us different areas if we wanted to read about um, the animal that tells us the page that we can go right to. So if I was just looking for information on how a walrus grows up or about baby ones, I could see in chapter 3, growing up is on page 16. I could flip right to that page. But we're just going to go ahead and start right from the beginning of the book. Remember, keep in mind all the facts that you hear because we're going to write about them shortly. So, chapter 1, Meeting the Walrus. What is that funny looking beast near the water? It's a walrus. Let's learn all about this awesome animal. Walruses are one of the biggest animals in the world. Some are 12 feet long and weigh 3,000 pounds. Wow, that is larger than this car. So if you take a look at this picture of the car, that walrus is bigger than that. Isn't that amazing? Walruses live on land and in the ocean. Their skin is thick and tough. They have 4 flippers to help them swim. They also have lots of whiskers. So if you look at the picture of the walrus up here, you can see that it's labeled with its different parts. We see the skin, flippers, pointing to the whiskers, and what are those? Tusks. We're going to learn about those in just a minute. What else makes walruses special? Tusks. Tusks are super long teeth that stick out of their mouth. They are used to help grasp things, and they're made of ivory, which is very hard and strong. Can you think of another animal that might have a tusk? If you already noticed that picture of the elephant up there, you are correct. They have them too. All walruses have tusks, but the tusk of a male are usually longer and straighter than the tusk of a female. In this picture right here, it shows that the walrus's tusk in this picture is 3 feet long, boys and girls. That's almost as tall as you guys are. Walruses dig their tusk in the ground to move forward. So in order to move, they kind of use it to grab into the ground and help push. Walruses use their tusks to pull themselves out of the water and to drag themselves across land. Tusks are also used to jab other animals. Ouch! Could you imagine if we had those? That'd be crazy. So chapter 2, Out in the Cold. Walruses are found in the Pacific and Atlantic Oceans. They live where the winters are long and the water is icy cold. How does a walrus stay warm? It helps to be large. Heat stays in a big body longer than a small body. Says walruses' ears don't get cold because they have just little tiny hole. I don't know if you can see that right on the side. Just a little tiny hole. That's their ear. Walruses also have blubber. That's a silly word, isn't it? Blubber is it's a kind of like a snowsuit. This extra layer of fat helps keep a walrus warm. And another fun fact, this says a cold walrus has white skin. A warm walrus has pink skin like in here. That's very interesting. Walruses are clumsy on land, but they are great swimmers. They hold their breath underwater just like people do. Some walruses can hold their breath underwater for more than 25 minutes. So think back to the time that you're in specials, like when you go to gym or when you go to art. That's almost as long as a walrus can hold their breath underwater. That's a long time. Walruses are predators. That means they hunt other animals for food. Walruses dive deep into the water to find their lunch. It says up here, a walrus uses its whiskers to help find food in the deep, dark ocean. So that helps them find food in there. So, do you like seafood? Walruses sure do. Some of them eat more than 5,000 clams in one day. And here is a list of what walruses like to eat: worms, snails, crabs, clams, mussels, squid, lobster, shrimp, and octopus. Here's a couple pictures of things that they like to eat. Do you like to eat any of those? Chapter 3, Growing Up. Walruses live in noisy groups called herds. Male walruses are called bulls. They live in one herd. Female walruses are called cows. They live in another herd. So the male and female walruses looks like they don't live together. Walrus cows have babies about every 2 years. Most of them have only one baby at a time, and that baby is called a calf. And it says here, walruses can live to be 40 years old. That's crazy. Cows are carrying mothers. Calves drink their mother's milk, and the mother's milk helps the calves grow and grow. Up at the top it says, most male calves leave their mothers when they are about 2 or 3 years old. So when they're 2 or 3, the boy calves or the male calves will go ahead and leave their moms. Once male walruses have learned to hunt, they leave their mothers to live in a male herd. Herds help walruses stay safe. And it says here, female walruses stay in the same herd as their mothers. So it doesn't sound like they ever leave, but the males leave at about 2 to 3 years old. Walrus safety. Long ago, people used to hunt walruses. The meat was used for food. The skin was used to make tools, boots, and tents. So if you look at this picture right here, a lot of the stuff in here is made out of the skin of a walrus. Then people started to hunt walruses only for the ivory in their tusks. There was so much hunting that the world was running out of them, out of walruses. So people used tusks to make carvings like these. This kind of art is called scrimshaw. But fortunately, people began to worry about walruses, so they made rules to protect them from the hunters. That was good news for the walruses. Today, the world is such a safer place for this awesome animal. And then at the end of the book, we have the glossary, which gives words that we might have learned about in the book and what they mean. Okay, so we learned a lot of facts about walruses today. We're going to write about them next, so keep those facts in your head. All right, see you soon, boys and girls. Bye-bye.